Did you see the title, folks? Did you see the title of this video? Because some people should be running under their beds right now. I suspect some are just trying to cry it off. Just trying to cry it off because they work with the putrid people. Is that right? Putrid. The gross people in the Bush administration who invaded countries on fake intelligence. I suspect some of them are under their beds trying to cry it off. Because they know that when blowback hits, it hits everybody. Good, bad, and the ugly. Good, bad, and the ugly. Because do you know what George W. Bush? This is so scary. Rupert Murdoch. Oh my God. Just oh my God. Just oh my God. The United States military and Rupert Murdoch have in common? They're all partners. Mafia partners. Transnational mafia partners. And that tells me that's why I'm scared. That the Middle East has some revenge coming America's way. More than likely, righteously so. More than likely, righteously so, right? They went in and invaded their countries, killed their people, and then left it ruined. And then tried to tell the people that were left behind how to run the government. Oh, you mean George W. Bush's kind of government? George W. Bush's kind of government? You mean the United States kind of government? George W. Bush's kind of government? You mean mafia government? Like, seriously? Oh, I see. You're going to go around and try to install your mafioso governments in power around the world by invading. And then when it comes to head, this is so sad. I find it so horrifically sad. I can't take it. I'm telling you, man, my heart is just breaking inside. And it just shakes. George W. Bush, the GOP, Rupert Murdoch, and Fox News have in common everything. Everything treasonous. Everything. And I'll be damned if America didn't roll out the red carpet for treason weasels. America rolled out the carpet for treason weasels. George W. Bush, Rupert Murdoch, the United States military, and Fox News. They are transnational mafiosos on the GOP side to overthrow the country. Real treason weasels. For real. And no wonder why my heart aches so bad, because I was married to the sick fuck that worked for that disgusting piece of white flesh. Good God. The 70s and 80s, they really ramped the mafia stuff up in America. Iran knows that. Our enemies know that. I said they don't have that. They have good intelligence, and I wish these people would stop calling me all this spam of all these Wall Street nutters and all of this spam that didn't ever used to occur, ever. It never used to get through, and yet that's all we get anymore is spam all day long, trying to sell you something or tell you that you've got some government credit somewhere, which is just a way to scam you, to keep the markets pumped, as a way to keep the markets pumped up. This is so gross. And now I understand why I'm still caged, because we've even got leaders that were in Congress and in presidential administrations in the 70s and 80s, I suspect, right? Who don't want to be outed as disgusting white people that they are, because they worked for the mafia and they know exactly what was going on and didn't tell Americans. So we have an awful lot of people all over cable TV, all over the country, still trying to sell their reputation on the fact that they served for X, Y, and Z president, who are grotesque people, who were building Gilead behind Americans' backs, a right-wing Gilead. And no wonder my life took a nosedive in 2000 when they installed George W. Bush. No wonder my life took a nosedive. The inside temperature inside my house after that was pretty hot. Like 135, 140, sitting on the dash, kind of hot all the time. Good God. All these damn white people, grotesque white people, and all these nutter, no wonder just no wonder. America and American media has tried to portray the Middle East as as Arabs that are evil, grotesque people, and they are not. And they did it because they were trying to overthrow the country. And invade the Middle East and take some of it. Because, remember, America's addicted to that black gold. Until it's going to suffocate itself, including for the rich people. But you see, they're too stupid to even figure out that they're killing their own air. And they're not going to make it any better than the rest of us are by continuing to fly plane after plane after plane after plane after plane around the world, killing everything in its wake. Everything. I've seen it with my own eyes in the US. It's killing everything. It's killing Colorado. It's killing Wyoming. It's killing Montana. And it's killing Washington. I mean, and we can go down the thing. It's killing California and Oregon. It's killing everyone, everything in its wake. The oceans and the landmass. It's killing it. It's literally every time we do this every day, we put another layer of our own suffocation. You might as well start putting masks over for real, but of suffocation, because they've polluted the air so bad. George W. Bush, Rupert Murdoch, and Fox News and the United States military are in partnership together. And Dominion, you idiots did not get enough money. I told you that, and shame on you. Smart Tech's right behind you, though, and they ought to bankrupt them. They ought to now be able to bankrupt them, literally bankrupt them. Because if they haven't found my video and figured out how to bankrupt Fox News and Rupert Murdoch, then they better start getting on the phone and finding the people that do know how to do that, because they could make a lot of money off of it for righteous reasons, for actual righteous reasons. Good God, absolutely. Righteous reasons. This is scary as hell. And thank you, Iran, Somalia. I don't want to go through the whole list again, okay? But thank you for finding me. Thank God for the internet, right? And thank God for YouTube sometimes. Facebook thought he had the market on that. Well, I'll just jam her Facebook Live. Well, not so easy to jam YouTube. Yeah, they're still jamming it. But I ran, and our enemies found me. Because they were some of the very first on the list for the U.S. military and the United States of America's Congress and presidential administrations to test run what they were trying to build. Good God, oh fucking mighty. Please rain down some mercy on this world. Please. Because it's going to need it. Some of our enemies were test runs. They were dry runs for the U.S. military to go in and invade countries to see if for all the studies within the United States government to be able to tell lawmakers whether or not they could build a Gilead behind everybody's back while Americans paid for it. So they went and invaded. Put the U.S. military in there to destroy everything, kill everybody. Stole what they want, test runs. Then they gathered all the research, collected it, and kept doing test runs. After test run, after test run, after test run, after test run. Actually, you know what? The 60s were pretty hot too, right? Because I got kidnapped in the 60s. The 60s were pretty dangerous. People of colors and Arabs. I can't wait to learn history, and I'm not even going to be long enough. Old. I don't have enough time left on the earth to absorb it all, because it's incredible, interesting history, how this all ties together. It's awesome world history about how it all ties together. And I can't wait to learn about their religion. I can't wait to learn about their culture, what they eat, how they live. Because they seem to know how to do that. It's the white crackers that don't know how to live. From where I'm sitting in my chair this afternoon. They seem to understand that you have to have humanity and kindness and all of that to live, among each other in the country. And people of color around the world, and Arabs, I suspect. Again, that's what that's what I want to learn. And I don't feel like I even have enough time left to even learn about it all. Good God. But people of color, of brown and black skin, Dear Lord. Just knew that it was always the white crackers who had no idea what they were talking about. And their religions were batshit crazy. It was they who knew that. Right? I think so. Wow, how horrific. Just how horrific. How incredibly horrific. Because Richard Murdoch, look him up, came here in the 70s. Then they finally gave him papers. And then he created Fox News in 85 so that they could invade the Middle East. Because Fox News is how they indoctrinated the United States military troops into a right-wing nutjob military force, a dangerous one. They indoctrinated them with Fox News 24/7, 365, wherever they went on base. Oh, Arabs, please save me. I mean, the black, just people of color, oh my gosh. Just because you know some of this history, which of course to some degree was buried from me, hidden. Whitewashed, shadow banned, the whole 9 yards, right? Oh, dear God, please save me. Because they are over there saying, yes, it's always been the white crackers. What do you think why do you think we call you the names that we do? We didn't just dream them up out of thin air. Because we knew when America came in here and started giving us fake intelligence and telling us that they were on the righteous side, that they could go ahead and invade on fake intelligence. You see, the rest of we knew that it was fake. Because our leaders told us it was fake. Or I suspect at some point, you know what I mean? Somewhere along the line. People don't like to be invaded for the hell of it. Certainly not on trumped up GOP nonsense. So that they could nail building Gilead behind Americans' backs while they still funded it. So that they could conquer the world with white people and only white people and nothing but pure white people in their minds. The whitest of the whitest of the whitest of skins. Because George Bush, when he got elected in 2000, was the final push. And no wonder those wars were so deadly and so ugly. And oh, Lord have mercy. It was the final push. It was the excuse to build the forces up so big that you could not control them anymore. It was the excuse to be able to build the U.S. military into their wet dream of white, racist men who would go in. And of course, if the more racist they were, the better. Because we want to go in and invade people of color, so we want you as racist as possible. No wonder so many of the white people that I have met that served in high positions, they're gross. And I've always thought so. Just, anyway. Gross. Just gross. That was George W. Bush's way to go to Congress and to go to the American people and beg for money so that he could invade and conquer. Invade, destroy, and conquer. Invade, destroy, and conquer. Invade, destroy, and conquer. invade, destroy, and then conquer. Oh my God. On fake U.S. military intelligence. Because the U.S. military doctors their own fucking intelligence. The United States military doctors their own intelligence, and Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria and Somalia and a bunch of others know damn good and well that the U.S. military doctors their own intelligence, whitewashes it. Because they have not stayed alive, like I said, without good intelligence. Dear God, people, just like black people, they know how to push info in there. They know how to protect their neighborhoods. They get information pushed and correct information pushed. Not the whitewashed version bullshit version shit. They cut through all the bullshit, put it in a couple of sentences, and they push it because their lives depend on it. Just like the Arabs depend, you know what I mean? Their intelligence was crucial. That had to be better than anything because it was going to be the only thing that would save their lives. And certainly when you're talking about white crackers, when you're talking about white crackers, they knew that their intelligence had to be top notch. And I mean top notch. Like, no, we don't spare any expense here. Not a dime, not a penny, not a dollar, not anything. Because we can't fight without good intelligence. So that don't ask me to cut. Because I'm not cutting it. I'm going to have the best of the best of the best of the best. Or we're not going to stay alive against the white crackers, or we are not going to survive. So they put their heart and souls into intelligence. Just like black people have done to some degree. Like I said, they know how to push intelligence in their communities. And I mean quick. They know how to push information. Because their lives have depended on it their entire lives. For the Arabs too. Their own life depended on good community intelligence at the street level. Not up there in the palace, but down in the street level. That's where they had to have good intelligence, and they knew that. My God. So we went over there and invaded and destroyed all those people, killed all those people on doctored intelligence from our own United States military. Don't ask me why I hate them. Don't ever ask me why I hate them. Because you'll have to have about 48 hours uninterrupted for me to tell you how bad I hate the United States military. Because they've killed an awful lot of people for this right-wing GOP nuttery. And my own family, and grotesquely, I married into one even more grotesque. Good God. White crackers destroying the entire world on fake United States military intelligence reran. In other words, they know how to doctor it all to make it look how they want to present it, as opposed to how it really happened. And those countries knew that. Because, hello, they had their own intelligence. Don't come in here and tell us what you're talking about. But see, George Bush sold it back home, got the Americans all riled up. I suspect got the EU all riled up, and then here we are, where we are invading countries and killing people just for the hell of it. For those white crackers to be able to stroke their privates and kill people. And then steal their assets after they've destroyed the country they've invaded. And George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Rupert Murdoch, and the U.S. military got in bed together in the 1985, to be precise, and made sure that he spewed nothing but Russia and cyber war indoctrination on how to build a right-wing military force to invade, destroy, and conquer the world. Good God Almighty. The United States military, in the business, really. They've told you that they're in the business of protecting. No, they're in the invasion business. They're in the invasion and destroy business. They are not in the protection business. They are in the invade and destroy business. And Fox News does the indoctrination. No wonder this country's half crazy. No wonder it's half crazy. Because, see, nobody would give Murdoch a license because they knew he was a right-wing nut job. So, again, Iran and all these places knew as soon as they gave Murdoch a license to broadcast right-wing propaganda. You don't think they knew exactly what was going on? Hello? Check yourself. They most certainly did. They most certainly absolutely did. If you do not think that they didn't have people in there finding out exactly what stations were in all of those bases that all of those nut jobs were listening to, if you're going to fight an enemy, you better know their psyche, right? You bet your ass you better. So the Middle East knew long before the rest of us did what America was doing to its troops, building nut jobs. Because they walked into bases and were horrified, I suspect, by the time they got back. I wonder how many intelligence officers needed a few days off before they could even brief them. Like, what I saw is so gross. Can you just give me a few until I can collect myself, and then I'll tell you all about it. Because it's gross. They've got Fox News everywhere. They've got that stupid nut horse shit everywhere. They have it plastered everywhere. They have it plastered over the entire country. And then their backup is CNN. And then in third place is MSNBC. If you don't think they knew that, like I said, check yourself. And I hope they have as much revenge in them today as I do after what we did to the Middle East. For the transnational mafia business in America, who had gone in, of course, with the monarchy, right? Why not? Why wouldn't you? Monarchy has experience in invading. What better partnership to go into business with? The monarchy, who already knows how to invade, destroy, and conquer. So it's a perfect partnership. It's a perfect partnership for white people. It's devastation for people of color. Pure wipeout. Pure wipeout. Devastation. Oh, good God. So, boy, howdy, can I tell you, I hope you have as much revenge for what they did to your countries and your people on fake shit. I hope you direct it exactly where it belongs, right at DC. And all of the white crackers, all of the white mafioso crackers that fill the place up. Because they have devastated you. And now is your time for revenge. Now, I know that God does not believe in revenge. I know it's not good. I get that. And he's right about that. But you know what? When you invade countries and kill all their people, uh, there's a little bit of righteous revenge in there that God's okay with. Or that's how I feel in my heart. That's how I feel in my heart. When you go in and you kill millions of people on nothing more than building a white world, a white Gilead behind everyone's backs. Except for people of color, though. I mean, of course, they've always known our racket, right? Again, you see, people of color have always known to be extremely leery of white people, period. Straight up. I mean, like, I just do not think that I think they have always known you better be leery of white skin and monarchs and people who are trying to build up a right-wing United States military by indoctrinating them with Fox News and nutty professors. Good God, how many nutty professors are in that Colorado Springs United States Air Force Academy? There's got to be some real nut jobs there. That place has got to be chock full of right wing, dangerous, extremely dangerous white crackers running it. And you see, Arabs always knew that there was nothing but extremely dangerous white crackers running the U.S. military, doctor, and all their intelligence. And that's why they said death to America. You don't doctor intelligence to kill people. Like I said, I know God doesn't believe in revenge, but I'll tell you what, he doesn't believe in killing people on made up U.S. military intelligence either. That I know for a fact. He doesn't believe in any of that. You don't doctor your video to make it look good for you so that you can go in and invade, destroy, and conquer. Sorry, folks. He thinks that's awful because he looks at you like you're a murderer, and you are. And you are. The United States Air Force right now is extremely dangerous. The entire United States military is an extremely dangerous force. Extremely dangerous. And I hope some people have put this country on notice that you better start pulling your fucking troops out of here. Because we've had enough of the right-wing Gilead bullshit, where you want to destroy the people that have brown or black or any color in between there, so that you can build your pristine, precious white Gilead. Those men are disgusting, and I hope smart tech wipes Fox News off the face of this planet entirely. I hope they bankrupt them for indoctrinating troops to destroy the rest of the world and all of the people of color that they didn't like, because it wasn't pure enough in their mind. You had to have the whitest of skins, remember, to be pure enough for the white race. You couldn't be mixed. Remember, they didn't want you mixed. They didn't want anybody that had half black, half white, or whatever. They only wanted the whitest of the whitest of the whitest of the purest skin. No people of color were allowed. And George W. Bush's, of course, first target was the Middle East and the Arabs, right? Good God. And I was married to the guy that worked for him. And people still talk to the Murdoch family. And people are still talking to the repulsive Murdoch family. Are you kidding? The entire family should be jailed. Should be jailed. Or go ahead and do it in another 100 years. But I'll tell you what, the Middle East has got some revenge coming this way. Righteously so. Because we devastated them and wiped them off. We wiped too many people out. And by God, now they know where the heart of the mafia is. I hope they know exactly where to start taking their shots. And the first one's going to be the U.S. military, because I think they've had all they can fucking stand of their trumped up bullshit and trumped up ridiculous U.S. intelligence. All doctored. Every bit of it. That's why I find what Reality Winner did so righteous. And I'm so proud of her, and I'm so sorry she's been so miserable. Just as miserable as me. Well, maybe not so. She can at least go to the store and anyway, without being hunted. Because that was U.S. military intelligence. That was righteous. And I'm surprised she didn't lose her life over it, quite frankly. I'm surprised they didn't kill her before they jailed her, because it's righteous information. She knew it was righteous. She knew somebody, or actually she knew everybody everywhere was snowing everybody. You see, Reality Winner knew that everybody everywhere was snowing everybody, because she could see it on her screen. Like you white crackers, all of you are lying to everybody. You're lying to everybody. I can see it. You're lying to everybody. Everybody everywhere is lying to everybody, because then, of course, she started to look around the world. Then she started looking around the world because she knows there's intelligence agencies everywhere. She's talked to them. I have no doubt at some point she's talked to numerous ones of them. So then she just started spinning her head around. Like, holy shit. We've got an entire world of world leaders lying to everybody. Lying to everybody. Holy shit. We have white, dangerous men in power around the world lying to everyone. Because it's sitting on my screen. Russia was in here in 2016 and doctored the goddamn thing. So shut up about all the fucking bullshit about how Trump won the election. No, he didn't. I can see it on my screen. Remember, the United States government trumps up their own intelligence. She had it on their screen that said the fuck they weren't in here. They were in here everywhere. Don't tell me, and thank God righteously so, against a strong woman, don't tell me what the fuck I see and what the fuck I don't see. One thing I can tell you sitting in this chair, motherfucker, is I know what I'm talking about. And I can see that Russia's been everywhere. So why the motherfucker all you world leaders lying about it? Because it's on my goddamn fucking computer screen right this minute. And we've got world leaders around this entire fucking world still lying to everybody on trumped up fucking US intelligence, I suspect, partly. And others too afraid to admit. Others too afraid, not powerful enough to admit what US intelligence did. But I have no doubt Reality Winner looked at that when it popped up on her screen and she said, I'll be a motherfuck. These motherfuckers around the entire world are lying about all of it. About all of it. About every stitch of it. Russia absolutely did throw that election. And I see it sitting right on my screen, and here's the goddamn proof. And then what did the FBI do? They went into propaganda campaign mode. All right, let's get our PR people. We're going to sell something else. We're going to tell everybody that Reality Winner is a criminal and a liar, which of course she isn't. Excuse me, she couldn't doctor computer. Computer evidence cannot be doctored. Sorry, folks. I just said that Reality Winner knew her shit. She didn't get where she did, and she didn't get where she did by being stupid. She knew exactly what the fuck she'd come across. Liar's Alley. She knew exactly what she'd come across. Liar's Alley, where everybody everywhere was lying about everything. And I've got the proof. And of course, it had to scare her like it scared me. Like, wait a minute, what the fuck? I thought this was America. And I thought in the US military, I was supposed to be protecting America, not Russia. Wow, somewhere along the line, I got some communication in the military mixed up, I guess. Now I'm supposed to be loyal to Russia and not the US. Oh, wow, I misunderstood that. And then Natalie Edwards, Dr. Natalie Mayfair Edwards, backed what she presented up with the money. Then Dr. Natalie Mayfair Edwards backed up everything Reality Winner had exposed. Everything. Because it was the money side of the equation. It was the money side of the equation where all the crime's buried. And why the DOJ never follows the money, because they don't want to follow the money. They'd have to tell you where all the crimes are buried. That's why they didn't follow why Mueller conducted a fake investigation. Like all of the congressional investigations, they're all fake. They're just political theater. They don't investigate jack shit. They don't want to know. And they certainly, most certainly cannot put it in the record. They don't want to know. That's why they conduct fake investigations all the time. Because, of course, then they'd have to, they are forced to conduct fake investigations for you. Because otherwise they'd have to tell you they're building Gilead behind your back. And they certainly don't want to do that. They most certainly do not want to do that. And that's, of course, why they're running like scared cats. Because they have no idea what shoe's going to drop next. Not with me on the internet. They have no idea where the next shoe is going to drop. George W. Bush, Rupert Murdoch, the United States military, and Fox News. The worst, most despicable people in the entire world. And what righteous women did we have this step forward? One had the computer evidence that Russia fixed it, and the second one had the money piece. And they've been nothing but tortured. And this administration has tried to call them liars. Congress refuses to talk about them because, of course, they needed to sell you a different story. They can't tell you that the United States military is their Gilead super force, I guess, superpower, because they'll do all the invading. Holy cow. Did I give some enemies some righteous information? And I'm pretty happy about that. That I'm pretty happy about. Righteous information. So that they can stay alive. Information. And boy, I hope they are in conference rooms, and I hope they've got the U.S., and I hope they've got some targets on it. Because the nonsense is going to stop. And we're going to get to the truth of this. Because you know what? Their reputations are riding on it too. Because they have had a PR campaign directed at them since before Bush, but really heated up, of course, when Bush wanted to play fancy pants here. When Bush decided he wanted to play general, white general. That's when Fox News really kicked it off and told everybody in the world how awful Arabs were. And they were targeted all over the world because of Americans and the European Union's target against Muslims and Arabs because they had brown skin, brown or black. Because Fox News told everybody in America and around the world that you had to hate Arabs and Muslims. They deserve to die. You know, that sounds like that stupid, nutty Tucker Carlson, doesn't it? I mean, why hasn't somebody put that guy out of society, like forever? He's as bad as Musk. He's just an awful human being. Of course, Murdoch wouldn't hire anybody worth a hill of beans. You can't get intelligence people to spew that shit. Sorry, folks, you don't get intelligent people to spew that shit. I mean, what the hell is his wife married to him for? I mean, again, you see, I'm glad they're finally going to stand up and stick up for their reputation. Like, you know what? You're not going to invent a propaganda campaign since the 80s about how we are these awful, terrible people. No, we aren't. We're very kind and we're very loving. And you've just sold propaganda so that you can conquer the world and build your white Gilead. Well, by God, we're coming right up your ass, and we're going to let the American people see what doctored United States military intelligence actually looks like. Because we've got the real footage, and then we've got your fucking shit. And we're going to show everybody. And there's no need for a trial or anything for 4 of the jury to say, well, now, placed in there by Gilead to argue about it all. No, that can't be, plant the nutters. Always got to plant the nutters. No wonder there's so many Mormon mafiosos, because they're nutters. So that kind of works for the job. Kind of does work for the job. If you're trying to build a white Gilead, Mormons are pretty good, gross people to build a Gilead. Anyway, I hope some revenge is about to hit some white people smack dab in the face, and I hope it leaves deep scars that make them look really ugly to an awful lot of people around the world. That's what I hope happens.